Hi, it's Rachel from All About Planners. In this video I'm doing a review of the Agendio planner. So I've tried 52 different planners, a different one each week last year, and just could not find the perfect planner for me. So I went looking for custom planners. So I know a lot of planner companies say that they're custom, but you know how they're like not really custom, you know what I mean? Like they'll be like, oh, you can pick this, but you can't pick that. So I wanted something that was full on custom, and that led me to Agendio. So oh my god, literally kid in a candy shop experience, people. You can customize from the front to the back cover, every single page inside, monthly page, weekly page, add-on pages, font styles, colors, line spacing, checklist style, like holy shit, everything you can customize. I was like, I have got to get this planner. So I reached out to the company and they were like, yes, we'll send it to you for free. So I was like, oh my god, that makes it even better. Okay, so that's like the disclaimer. Yeah, I did receive it for free. I was going to buy it anyway. As you can probably tell from my excitement level, absolutely obsessed with it. Okay, so let's have a closer look. Alright, so this planner is very similar to me to the plum paper, only obviously you get to customize everything. So if you like that style but you want a different spread to what they offer, this one would be a really good option for you. So similar silver coil, very sturdy. You've got a bit of wiggle room if you want to do stickers because that coil has got some room to move. We have a clear cover to protect the cardstock cover, which is like a nice thin smooth cardstock, and you get to pick the pattern. So I chose this one, which kind of reminded me of like raindrops falling down a window, kind of random comparison, I know, but I liked it. It was something different to my usual chevrons, polka dots and stripes that I always use all the time. And we got it monogrammed. Oh my god, I love when they give you the monogram option. So cute, because then it's like personalized as yours and you know that it's yours. I really like monogramming things. Okay, so we've got the This Belongs To page. So Agendio, again, is the company. I'll include the link below. So if you do personalize one of their planners, they give you base layouts. So this one was model 32120. So if you like the layout that I chose and you want to customize it, look that one up on the website. So they give you the base layouts and then you can go crazy like kid in a candy shop, customize everything, I mean everything, to suit your liking. So you can add checkboxes or you could do circles if you don't like using checkboxes. You can change the line spacing if you want the lines further apart or closer together. You can choose the colors, the font style if you want tasks to be pre-printed on the pages. So if you have recurring things that happen or you want to track things like spring cleaning, getting your car serviced that you always forget, you can have those pre-printed on the pages, birthdays, etc. So full customization. And in addition to that, they also give you the option if you want to perforate the pages. So I tried the Ashley Shelley planner earlier this year, and that's the only planner that I've found apart from this one that gives you perforated pages. So this one is like an optional add-on. So I really liked it as a way to keep track of what week you're up to without having to have like a bookmark or a magnetic page marker, which can add some bulk to the planner. You can just tear it off and keep track of what week you're up to. So really like that nice little extra touch. The paper feels really smooth, like so nice. Can't wait to do pen testing on it. It'll be really nice to write on. It feels really smooth. Love, love, love it. Okay, so in addition to all that customization, you can also choose what month you want it to start. So I opted to start it on February 2018. So if you wanted to start it on your birthday, which was mid-month, for example, you can, or you can choose the start month. So if you're a teacher, for example, and you know that you don't need it for like summer, you can pick what month you want to start it on, which is great. So then you get the most out of it. You don't feel like you're, you know, wasting paper, I guess, like paying for paper you don't need. So that's a really good option. Like I said, seriously, customize everything. If you can think of something that can be customized, they'll do it for you. And the price is actually really reasonable as well. So the price varies depending on if you are getting a spiral bound planner, the size of the planner, the inserts. They have all different options. I'll include the link to their website below. Seriously, go check it out. I cannot say all the customization options in this video, just completely overwhelming. I spent like 3 hours going through all the different options to customize the planner, like literally everything. So good. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so I picked a pretty teal, like blue color. So nice, love it, really love it. Okay, so instead of a traditional calendar with the 2-page spread, I opted to go with a monthly planning and then have the dates listed down the side here. So one of the main reasons that I don't like the traditional 2-page monthly calendar with the boxes is because they're just too small. So I can't really fit much in them, whereas with a page like this, you've got a nice long horizontal, lots of like space to write in. If you didn't need that much, you could always put a line down the middle and have 2 tasks like work and personal, maybe your top priority for the day. There's just so many ways that you can use this, which I find better and more functional and practical than your normal 2-page calendar. And the other thing, if you watch any of my other planner videos and know my pet peeve, is when they combine boxes for each day. So I was like, No, this is my own custom planner. Screw it. I'm not even going to include those pages. If I'm not going to use them, like, what's the point? So love that I could choose to add these instead, and also some note space down the bottom, which is always handy. The line spacing is not too close together, not too far apart. It's a really good size. So I'm very excited to try this out. So I got this with the intention of using it as a blog planner. So I've got monthly planning in the front, and then I've got the weekly planning pages later on. So I've said quite a few of the pros. I do have to say one of the major cons for me, really big con, is that if you want tabs, you've got to pay for them. So they're like $10 extra if you want tabs that go like, you know, January, like the months along the side, you've got to pay $10 extra for them, which I thought was a little steep. And it's kind of like, so you've let me customize the entire planner, but now you want me to pay for tabs? Like, I don't know, that kind of was a big con to me. Okay, so let's go through the weekly spread. So this was the base layout that I picked. I kept this pretty much exactly as per the base layout and then customized the page on the left. So one of my favorite planners that I tried during the year was the plum paper horizontal with notes, because it had the weekly pages, like the weekly spread with the dates on the left here, and then it had all the to-do lists, like open-ended brain dump space on the right. And I really liked that style, but I just didn't like that the dates like went fully across the page, and that it had the same amount of space for Saturday and Sunday. Because this is a blog planner, I post during the week, so I post Monday to Friday, but I don't post on the weekend, so I don't need as much space for those. So I opted to go with a different layout and see how this one goes with like the 6 in a grid style. So I can put the blog post up the top here and then the workflow task down below. So I'm pretty keen to try it. I reckon it's going to work pretty well. After trying so many of them, I'm pretty sure that this one's going to be like the ideal layout for blog planning for me. And the other thing that I really liked is you can put in the recurring tasks. So reminders to back up computer files, go for a walk. I have a dentist appointment annual, so I put that in there, which is great. So I don't have to like remember it or write it in. It puts in there for you, and they put it in really nice and small, so it doesn't waste functional planning space. Like, you still get the reminders in there, but it's not going to be in the way, because obviously if you handwrite that, you're going to be writing it bigger than that. Like, that's the width of my finger, so it's pretty small. So that's pretty good. One thing though, depending on what planner layout you choose, depends on how many of these like recurring tasks that you can enter in. So my layout that I chose only allowed 2. Some of them allow 3, so that's another thing to keep in mind when you're picking it. You can also choose what day of the week the planner starts. I love when it starts on a Monday, so I chose Monday start. You can also do Sunday if you prefer. Now on the right side of the page here, I opted to keep this pretty like open-ended. I did originally have a layout which had a whole bunch of mini lists sorted into like cleaning tasks, these are the planner videos to record, these are the photos I need to take for the blog, etc. I had it all sectioned off into lots of smaller lists. But then I was like, well, hang on a minute. When other planners did that, or when I took a plain sidebar and divided it up that way, I didn't end up liking it. So I wanted it that was open-ended, but I still have the option if I wanted to, for example, rule a thicker line and turn it into multiple lists. So I opted to keep it a pretty like open-ended spread that can be altered depending on like what needs I need that week. So if I want to one week use it for project planning, I can put the project up the top here and list all the tasks below. If I'm not working on a project that at that point in time, or I've got something else happening, like I can change the purpose of that section. So I wanted to keep it open-ended, but I did want to include a top 3 weekly goals, always include a top 3 for my week, so I like that I could include that in there already. And then I put a big open-ended to-do list, because like I said before, I found when I section planners off and put, for example, just 4 lines for each thing, well, sometimes I might want a larger space for each category, so I might need more checkboxes for blogging and less for cleaning tasks, etc. So I like that when I have an open-ended layout like this, I can just use different colors and color code that way. And then I also don't need to worry about clustering. Like, I could have a blogging task up here and one down here as well, but because it's in the same color, it's still like categorized and organized. So that's why I went with, I guess I'd say, like a pretty plain, simple layout. If you do the same task each week and you did want to section it off, you can do that as well. You can add like little mini lists, and you can choose your labels as well. So I went with like generic stuff, but if you wanted to customize it, you could have like cleaning, you could have your kids' names on the side here if you wanted to keep track of their schedules as well as your own. So really happy with the layout, and I chose the widest line spacing that you can get. They do list the dimensions on the site, so make sure you get out a ruler and have a look, because I was originally going to go with one that was smaller, and then I actually looked at it on my ruler and I was like, okay, that's a bit narrow. So I went with the larger spacing, and I'm quite happy with it. It's a decent size spacing. I didn't want to go too small, because then I'm prone to being like, I've got all this space on the page, I need to fill it, and then just like pack it all in, and it just like overwhelming. So I went with the larger line spacing. This is what it looks like. Pretty happy with it. So when I use this planner, I can do like my brain dump and my weekly tasks, my project, and then plan all the blog posts out over here. So I like that I can keep it all in one place. I don't have any like extra stuff that I don't need. It's just going to be really compact, and I'm not going to have stuff spread across multiple notebooks like I have done in the past, which didn't work very well. I want to keep it all in one place. The other thing that you can do is add a little page marker. So this one is metal, just slips around the page. Note that it will only fit like one piece of paper. So, I mean, it's okay. It's not like terribly cute. You know, it's not very like aesthetically pleasing. It's just a bookmark, but like it works. So that's a cool idea. Okay, so I went with the weekly spread that had 2 pages, like ×2. So it's got the weekly spread, which is obviously this one here that I showed you, and then I also opted to add add-on pages. So whenever I do weekly planning, I always like to have a habit tracker. So I liked that I could have this as an add-on page, and rather than it being crammed and squirreled away in the corner of one of the spreads, like I'll usually just take part of the sidebar and put a habit tracker in that section. So rather than having it really small, I like that I could have it nice and big, and that you can pre-fill it with the tasks that you need. So I've got in bed by 12. I didn't hit snooze on my alarm. Vitamins. Sorry, this really should not be pulled out with one hand. I feel like I'm going to rip the page because it's quite firm in there. So I might just leave that one. Oh no, I can get it out. Oh, let's get it out. Okay, it's coming. Sorry. Okay, great. So we got in bed by 12, didn't hit snooze, vitamins, ate fruit, ate veggies, did yoga, did exercise, like went for a walk, backed up my iPhone files, backed up my laptop, published a blog post, and posted on social media like Pinterest. So again, I chose a Monday start. You can choose whatever week start you want, so it's consistent with the blogging spread. And then I put total in the last column, so I can keep track, okay, how many nights did I go to bed by 12, and put the total here, which I find is a lot more clearer than like just crossing a box off. So I like having the total column. You can change that to whatever you want, though. You could put goal if you wanted to. And I left some blank at the bottom in case I wanted to add any extra tasks that popped up throughout the year as well. So rather than having to handwrite all this out, or I usually use one of my printables and type it straight in, but if you don't want to use a printable, normally with a traditional planner you'd have to handwrite it. So with this one you don't, you can just have it pre-filled, which is great. And then I have lined extra space down the bottom for brain dumping or any other notes. And then over here I have a meal planning section. So I really like this meal planning page. I've used a similar layout before when I made a printable a couple of years ago. Really liked it, so I was pretty happy when they offered a digital version. So we've got Monday, again keeping it consistent, Monday week start for the meal planning, habit tracking, and the weekly planner. Love when it's all like the same, so you don't get confused if something's a Sunday start versus a Monday. And then down the bottom here I've got a baking section because I always bake on the weekends. So I really like that it gave you that space, because normally if you've got just 7 on the day, it's like 7 daily spaces in this column here, it can be a bit big and you don't need that much space for each day. So I like that they add in a little 8 section for baking. You could also do a like a backup section, backup meals if you wanted to. And then we've got a nice grocery list on the side here. So really like that layout. So I've got 4 pages per week, which again most planners don't offer. So really liked that option. You can also add monthly calendars if you wanted to, but like I said before, I opted to just delete those and put the monthly planning pages at the start. You can also put them at the back if you want. You can choose what order you want to put them. So I picked a different color for each month. Really like this one, which was a nice blue. I'll show you some of the other colors that I picked. So we've got like a pink and orange. Pretty. And we've got some red, some purple. There's like a lighter purple coming up. I did it like light to dark for each shade of the color because I'm like OCD like that. Got some dark blue. And then if we keep going towards the back, so it's the same the whole way through. And you can put obviously those little like reminders which come up during the week, which you can scatter throughout, and birthdays. Pretty green one. You can pick what font style you want as well. So I went with the simple one that they showed in the sample because I liked it, easy to read. So I'll include the list below of all like the specs that I chose with line spacing and the font, etc. if you like the ones that I chose and you want to replicate it. And then I chose grey at the back. So if you're interested in something neutral and you don't like a pop of colour, you could always just put the whole planner in a neutral colour if you wanted to. So if we keep going towards the back, I was a bit overwhelmed with all of the add-on pages, and like I said earlier, I didn't want to have like too much stuff that I don't need. No extra pages carrying around extra bulk, so I decided to keep it really simple. So I just added a couple of extra pages. You do have to pay for the extra pages, but it's quite reasonable, and rather than having it scattered here, there and everywhere, I'd rather just pay for it and put it all in the one planner. So I have progress tracker, so when you do like your goal setting at the start of the year, I can put in my goal and then the date I started and the date I completed it, because I'm prone to like starting a lot of stuff but then not finishing it because I get distracted, or it's like, oh, a new shiny project that I want to work on. So this will keep me like accountable to finish it. And then I also put just a notes paper at the back. So one thing to note that was a bit disappointing is that they don't include notes pages as standard. So if you want the notes pages, you will have to pay extra for them, and I forgot to include extra. So this will be my pen test page, but I mean, I guess it'll be good because I won't be brain dumping and putting random stuff throughout the planner. Everything will have a place and it'll be nice and structured and neat. That's the plan anyway. So again, nicely spaced notes pages. Paper feels really good. I'll be doing a pen testing. I'll have the link below to the post where I do it. If you want to see which pens bleed through, ghosting, etc. If they do, because this paper feels pretty smooth, they might not. So you can add a whole bunch of other extra pages. They've got categories for like everything. Again, too many to list. You can do your own widths as well for the columns. So for this one, I wanted to have a wider space for the goal section, and then obviously a thinner space for the dates. So you can pick, you don't have to have like a ginormous column if you don't need it. You can drag in their tool and decide what size you want the columns to be. So I thought that was really cool, because I've not had a planner company that will not only let you pick your add-on pages, but you also get to pick your titles. So I chose progress, and then your titles for these as well, and then also the line spacing, and then the color and the font style. Like, I was not joking when I said you can customize everything. There's so many different options. It's kind of overwhelming, all the options to choose from, but at least you'll end up at the end with the planner that's going to be like perfect for you. So I do think that it is worth the cost. This one was $59 US, and that then I had the add-on pages, also the little bookmark, the little metal one was another add-on, and same with the perforated pages. Shipping to Australia was $20. It didn't take too long, so I ordered around end of November, and it arrived about a month later, just before Christmas, which was great. It's like Christmas come early. So it didn't take too long either, and shipping I thought was quite reasonable to Australia, because most of the planner companies charge you like $40 US just to ship one planner to Australia. So shipping is not that bad, and you get a planner that you actually want and that you're actually going to use because you designed it, so it's like made by you for you. So I do think it's a good deal. I'll include the links below to everything mentioned in this video. And then again, the back cover is just the same as the front with that clear frosted backing as well. So on the whole, I'm very impressed with it. I'm pretty keen to order another one because there's so many different layouts to choose from that I obviously want to try all the other ones, because I'm like obsessed with planners, love trying all the different spreads. They have tons of different vertical ones as well, so I might try a vertical. So just really, I'm very impressed with the planner. Like, I know I got it for free, but seriously, I would have paid for it because I'm like so happy with it. I feel like it's something that's actually going to work for once. So I kind of hack together other planners or use stickers and cover stuff up and kind of like mold it to work for me. Whereas this one, I don't have to do any of that. I can just open the page up and start planning straight away, which is pretty good. So I'm pretty keen to use this one in 2018. And when I do use it, I'll obviously do a post about it, which will be on my blog, which is allaboutplanners.com.au. So make sure you subscribe if you want to be notified when that post is published. So I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll also have the link to the Agendio website in the description box below as well if you are interested in doing your own custom planner too. So I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!